What's up guys, and welcome to part 9 of the Ultimate Guide to Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be going through Irithyll. Now we're going to be doing the part before Pontiff. Irithyll after Pontiff is going to be in the next video. So this is everything up to Pontiff Sulyvahn.
Yeah.
So starting off, we're going to go to Walner's tomb and progress ahead. We're going to come up against a big dog called Solomon's Beast. Now we want to kill that because if you don't kill it on the bridge, it shows up later on, and it shows up in an area where there's a lot of deep water and you can't really move that much, so you don't want to fight it down there.
Yeah. So
Plus the water, and it has a lightning attack, I think. Does it not have like a weird lightning breath attack, or is that only the ones at Aldrich Covenant?
I'm not sure. It might really do it when it's in water. Regardless, you don't want to fight it when it's in the water.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing here, by the way.
Yeah. In the Aldrich room, like the water's not deep enough for it to make a difference to your movement, but like you can kill it here, especially with this weapon. So fuck it, why not?
You want to try and hit it in the face as much as possible so you can break its poise. Because if you riposte it and it doesn't die, it will stay on its back and it will start to like prey. You can find the images on Google. I managed to get one in the next part. I managed to get a good look at it. So you want to stay close to them, because they will close the gap with their charge, and if their charge, it has a really bullshit hitbox, and if it hits you, it will grab you.
It's all about getting your dodges down, really. Like not
short combos, like R1 R1, then get ready to dodge. R1 R1, get ready to dodge.
Yeah.
Don't overextend and go for the 3-hit and trade, because it will out damage you in terms of like relative health anyway.
Yeah.
So moving right along, this should be Homeward Bones. Now we're going to rest at this bonfire before we pick up anything here, and we're going to double back because there is an event with Cirrus. But Tony, what does Sullivan's Beast drop?
It's only Pontiff's right eye.
Only Pontiff's right eye,
Just
is
this
that
one
it?
anyway.
Yep, cool. The other ones drop Ring of Favour, don't they?
Yeah.
But we're going to go back to the start of this bridge because there will be a white summon sign, and it is for Cirrus, and this one will pull you into Cirrus's world. Once again, this was our idea for like the Way of Blue Covenant. They could leave a sign like that and it would pull players into their world or something.
Yeah, so I mean this is exactly how the Way of Blue should have worked.
This is how we want it to work anyway, because this is a really good idea.
Yeah, because
this is
cool.
cool.
You can see, oh, they want help. You go in, you help them, done.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of you putting your sign down and convincing people to summon it, if you see that sign, you can go, right, this person definitely wants help.
Yeah. But anyway, so now we need to kill Creighton. Now Creighton was in Dark Souls 2 and he's here again for whatever reason. And it's just, you know, your general...
recycled assets. I mean, another cycle. Yeah, that's what I meant. But this guy has a lot of poise. Also, if he's locked onto you, and you can't punish his Estus, because evidently just all NPCs in Dark Souls, while they're locked onto you, can pivot on the spot while drinking Estus, and you can't backstab punish them. But Creighton has a lot of poise, especially when he uses the war cry. See, like that. Fucking pieces of shit, cheating bastards.
I know.
But yeah, just keep the pressure on him, kill him, and if you succeed in doing this, it advances Cirrus's questline.
Now, good things to do is when you or any humanoid gets hit in this game, they can take 2 hits. But if something else hits them in between, so if you hit them and then they hit them, their first hit, which would have been your second hit, counts as a first hit. So you can effectively just keep lining up those attacks.
So if you time your attacks with Cirrus, then you can keep creating stun lock for a good while. So now, after that, you want to go back to Firelink Shrine and get the Silver Cat Ring from Cirrus. What else it should give you?
A Blessed Mailbreaker. So
blessed
something completely useless.
Yeah, I've already done the Catacombs of Carthus.
I know.
Why do we need a blessed weapon? I think they realised their mistake in giving us the occult club.
Aye.
And they went, fuck, we just made the Catacombs easy.
Anyway, so there's a couple items around here. We're going to pick them up, and
I think it's just all soul packets, isn't it? There's one more item on the other side of this fountain.
Yeah.
I think it's all soul packets. We're coming up to new enemies in the game known as Pontiff Knights. These are pretty tall, lanky knights with a curved sword, so they've got combos for days, I assure you.
Yeah, so they can drop Pontiff Knight Curved Sword if they have it, Pontiff Knight Great Scythe if they have it, Pontiff Knight Shield, which is okay-ish, I think, and the Pontiff Knight Set, as well as large Titanite Shards. So, you know, your sort of general mob drops.
You can rotate around them easily enough and get the backstab anyway.
Yeah.
The Pontiff Knights also inflict Frostbite, which we've already covered before. Frostbite makes you take more damage, and your stamina recovery is a little lower. So it's good to like not let that build up, but as you can see, these guys will just flail at you for days with their fucking curved sword. It's as if they like took notes from PvP in Dark Souls 1. Just if they got a curved sword, just don't stop pressing R1. Like, look at this mother. I'm trying to backstab him. Like, excuse me, sir. Just slow down.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. If you wouldn't mind. Oh yeah, they also have that ranged dark spell. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but that was me trying to kick. By the way, I'm not an idiot. I was trying to kick, but it's an Xbox controller and it feels like I'm holding like a tumor.
But anyway, you can see these guys are fucking. They're actually pretty easy.
Yeah, you get a backstab, you take off 5/6 of their health.
They look like they're going to be a lot harder than they actually are.
Yeah. So at this point, I was telling Tony, no, flame weapon doesn't one-shot backstab because it only adds about 20 damage. But hey, 20 damage per hit adds up when you R1, 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 R1. That's like an easy 100 extra damage. It's nothing to scoff at. I think we're looking on the map for something.
Oh yeah, I was telling you maybe this.
No, I knew this was here. I think we were just trying to find our place on the map again.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Fuck knows, we're probably arguing or I think we might have been singing a song, by the way.
Yeah, we probably were actually.
So
sometimes we do that when we record, we just sing songs.
Yeah.
But you guys don't hear that because we do the voice post record, so you don't get to hear a sing along chant.
So pick up this, and there's another item that should be near the fountain as well.
Yeah.
Now, right, those enemies that you saw there, the kind of these guys that are coming up.
Oh no, talk about the Pontiff guy first,
Okay.
because he's a little bit more important. Those are fire witches.
Yeah, burning stake witch according to the fucking guide. Right, so they can drop the immolation tinder, which is like a cool halberd thing.
It casts spells.
The fire witch set and large titanite shards.
Yep. And the other ones were like Irithyllian slaves, weren't they? Or something like that. I think that's them there.
Yeah, Irithyll slave. And they can drop blood gem or blue bug pellet.
Yep. So, now that you've taken care of that one, we hope you learned how to dodge its attacks because you're about to be met with a second one. You want to try and get through this bit relatively quick. There's a couple of Pontiff Knights further up. Well, at least after these guys you do. I don't think their patrol starts until you pass a certain point in this stairwell. But after you kill that one, just run and you're going to make a U-turn basically and duck into this right corridor, go down and kill the Fire Witch before the other two Pontiff Knights arrive, otherwise you'll have to deal with 3 of them, and you really just don't want to do that. He's just fucking with me now, isn't he?
I know, he's just...
Like, what are you all about?
You know, people have said that there are non-horizontal attacks. There is another attack button in this game, Stephen.
Yeah, I know, but that uses way more stamina and it's not nearly as spammable.
Aye, but
It's a bit DPS.
you dink off stuff otherwise.
That's why I try to like lock off and dead angle the weapon so I can do it. Sometimes it works.
So for some strange reason, the Pontiff Knights actually came down here and attacked him, which has never happened to me before.
Sometimes they do, other times they'll just both stand there and they'll just like keep firing that dark spell and then you need to go in and fight them and then you end up with 2 of them, but they're not especially tough.
No.
They're just really spammy when they do the big fucking slap sword combo.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you were to just kind of run ahead and then you didn't notice the Fire Witch and then he was sending fire attacks at you and then he had to deal with 2 Pontiff Knights,
That'd be a lot tougher.
Yeah.
That'd be way tougher. So hit this because it makes an illusionary staircase. Yes, the first time in Soulsborne history. An illusion that isn't a wall. Or an Orlando's son.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
there really isn't much to talk about because these are like the only enemies in the entire area are Pontiff Knights and the little slave guys.
Yeah, basically.
I feel like we're doing Bloodborne again. It's like, what did they drop? Well, we don't need to say anything.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So this is an Evangelist again, which will drop Dorothy's Gnawing, which is the spell that they cast. It's a spell that inflicts bleed.
Yeah, like the other Evangelist, it can drop the Spike Mace in the Evangelist set. So, there's that.
Basically, this is just an Evangelist, but scaled up for this part of the game.
Yeah, literally. But again, when you kill this one, you're guaranteed to get Dorothy's Gnawing.
And that should be the bell chime, isn't it? Or it's a chime of some sort. So it's a sacred bell chime or some shit like that. I can't remember.
Too fast for me to even be able to read it.
We're going too fast. But yeah, so now we need to make the arduous trip all the way back round.
Yeah, so I mean, you can see that it's kind of like a quote-unquote shortcut, but not really. Like,
it's not even a shortcut. It's just you open a gate so you can get out of this dead end we put you in.
It's kind of strange because you'd think there's just. I mean, I suppose they could.
If there was a ladder there, then that would have been better.
If there's a ladder, you could kick down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there was a ladder, that would have made way more sense. And I just wanted to extend game time.
Anyway, so run around here, get more large Titanite shards.
Yeah,
Basically,
so by this point you should have a +6 weapon before taking on this boss.
Yeah.
Like, at least the game is throwing shards at you. I think by the end of this we have like 15.
something ridiculous anyway.
It is, it's like 15 because there's a bunch of them as we continue to go through this area.
Okay, so we've got a lot to talk about now because we're coming up towards Anri. So, right.
That one in the back corner in the middle. Not that one. This one right here. Now, if you want to do Anri's side of the quest line, you kill that thing now, I think.
Yeah, you kill it now.
You kill it now, and then Anri will be a summon for Aldrich. But if you want to do Uria's side, talk to Anri, don't interfere, don't kill that thing, and it will progress so that you can get the Lord of Hollows ending.
Yeah, now you kind of really want to do the Lord of Hollows ending. It's just better. You get all of Anri's stuff anyway, and you get an achievement for doing the Lord of Hollows ending, so that's probably a lot more worthwhile doing.
Yeah.
But as well as doing the Lord of Hollows ending, because you do Uria's quest,
you get the Marion Blade, you'll get Uria's set and all that at the end as well, which you wouldn't get if you took Anri's side right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so with doing Uria's side, you get Anri's stuff as well as Uria's stuff, so it just makes sense to do Uria's side.
So I go the wrong way for like 5 seconds here. I grab this. It's just a roster of knights. It's just the enrollment for the Dark Moonblade, I think it is, isn't it?
So.
But we want to go back this way first because there's a little area that I forgot to do. Well, I mean, this is when we would do it anyway, but I went that way instead of this way for some reason.
Yeah, so just to reiterate, that statue that we showed you in the corner, if you want Anri to live, even though she dies anyway, spoiler alert,
kill it.
Kill it, yeah.
I mean, I don't see the point saying spoiler alert. They're watching a guide for the game.
I know.
Like, if you complain about spoilers, just get out. Like, if you're literally going to watch the guide and be like, oh my god, you spoiled the game. Like, why is your first playthrough of the game using a 100% fucking guide walkthrough? Did you just... the game won't hold my hand for me, so I need someone else to do it. I mean, if it is your first playthrough and you want to use the guide and you don't mind about spoilers, I've got nothing against you.
Yeah.
But if you're going to sit in the comments and complain about spoilers, then just fuck off. Oh yeah, there should be Cloranth. Is it this part?
No, it's not quite this part.
It's not this part. Okay.
We'll mention it when we get it.
Alright, so that's the magic clutch ring. And if you drop down there, it just takes you down to like that archway there, by the way. I was making sure that's where it leads. In case that was like a super shortcut that like took you down to...
Yeah, and you just go up to Pontiff Sulyvahn.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
So that's pretty much everything you can pick up before the church.
Yeah. Now we're going to go the way that I started going, where I got
There's
the
also that
knights.
group of enemies, just to point out, and they are patrolling, so you might want to wait for them to move, just because...
Yeah, because it is a fire witch, and it's 2 Pontiff Knights, so you would have to deal with the ranged, like, fire pillars from the fire witch, as well as the Pontiff Knights getting up in your face. There's a couple of invisible ghouls along here, nothing we haven't seen before, I guess.
I think these are still the Irithyllian slaves, technically.
I think they still are. But Kraten's going to invade here because we did Cyrus's questline. Once we defeat him here, we'll be able to go back to that bridge and we'll be able to pick up Kraten's armor set. Now there's an Estus shard, is it an Estus shard or a bone?
Actually, as it turns out, those Irithyllian guys with the swords that we initially fought, they're actually Irithyllian soldier slaves, and they can also drop the claymore.
Oh.
But yeah.
So yeah, that was an undead bone shard. Now we need to fight Kraten. Now Kraten at this point is going to be really fucking annoying because you have to 1v1 him. He's got a little bit more health, I think, and he just drinks Estus.
Again, you can just use a Hunter's Charm, which you for some reason just refuse to use.
Because I don't have them like on my hotbar already, and I don't want to go into my inventory with Kraten because he closes the gap quickly because of Warcry.
You knew he was going to invade, you could have put them on.
Yeah, I know,
anyway.
But I wasn't thinking because I'm like, I'll just Sparta kick him off the edge. And I can't get consecutive kicks because I keep running out of stamina. Like, fuck this game, man. But yeah, Kraten's just a piece of shit, basically. Is his armor set even good? Is it just like... It's okay.
Yeah, I think it's...
Long live the king, okay. Ya dick.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that these invisible guys are just the normal Irithyllian slaves, and they can drop the blood gem or the blue word pellet, but the one that has the claymore can drop the claymore and blood gem.
Yeah. So now we're going to go get Creighton set because we may as well, because the only enemy we've really killed has been a couple of slaves in Creighton, so...
Yeah, we want to just get all the backtracking done, like, as soon as...
I think I accidentally went to yeah, this is where I wanted to be. Central Irithyll, because his armor set is on the bridge.
Yeah, I think you went somewhere wrong, but I changed it.
No, it said Central Irithyll on the menu when I hit warp, so...
Oh, okay. So yeah.
No, I only warped from Firelink to Firelink accidentally. But I mean, it's frequent enough that I hate saying it's accidental because it makes me look like an idiot. Because it happens like 3 times per session, roughly. I don't know, it's just the menu system confused me. I don't expect it to be on the bonfire it just came from, so I'd hit like the button, like I know it's the 3rd one down, so I press down 3 times and I go the wrong way without even thinking. My muscle memory takes over my vision. Can't help it. Anyway, moving down here, we've got a couple of Irithyllian dogs to take care of.
Yeah.
I think these ones count as the Irithyllian dogs, because some of the Irithyllian dogs do frostbite as well.
They also don't drop anything.
No, they don't drop
apparently.
They probably drop soul packets if they're going to drop anything.
Yeah. Something I do want to mention about Anri's quest is I'm not entirely sure if you need Yuri to show up for that little guy in the corner to also show up. I think that's the case. However, if you're just dabbling about in the game, just always check to see if that guy's in the corner if you want her to be alive. Because that's pretty much the requirement anyway. If he's not there, she's going to live, but if he is there, just make sure to kill it. That way, she'll definitely be alive.
Yeah. Alright, so moving back down, we're going to come into this little section here. I'm pulling the torch out because it makes it a little bit easier to see. There's a bunch of those like ghouls around here, the ones that are invisible and like turn visible when you're really close. The ones on the floor have this attack though. I think they like spit shit at you. It's really annoying. But there's only a couple items in this room.
Yeah, a lot. Basically, all items in this actual area are pretty ineffectual. You can pretty much run through here, doesn't matter. Yorshka's spear is in this area, but I don't even think it's that great. I mean, it might be alright. I've not really.
It's not particularly popular, so.
Yeah.
I hate these little fucking things.
I don't
try to cut my ankles.
I don't know why you insisted on killing all of them.
Because they get in the way. I've just got a strong hatred for anything I can lock onto. If it bleeds, I will kill it.
What if you could lock onto your mum?
I mean, if my mum was in Dark Souls and I could lock onto her, then I'd just have to do what I gotta do.
It's just as good as dead.
Yeah.
So, right,
they make the rules, Tony, I just abide them.
Let's go up this ladder, and there's again some items up here.
Yeah, this is the way up to Yorkshire's spear. There's a thing in here, isn't there? Yeah. There's a ring in New Game Plus near here. We'll point out the exact location. Yeah. Remember, guys, you can block with a torch, as you can see here. It's not a very good block, but
it's better than no block.
Yeah. It's better than taking it in the face anyway. So now, continuing around these rafters, we're going to drop down on a little platform and open up a chest to get Yorkshire's spear. It is Yorkshire's spear that's in this chest, isn't it?
Yeah. It's also Yorshka, not Yorkshire.
Well, I mean, I didn't say Yorkshire, I said Yorkshire. But, whatever.
Okay, so now we can finally move out of this fucking area.
Yeah, this room isn't very entertaining, I can't lie.
Yeah, it really isn't. So now we are coming up to the
If you drop off there, the Claranthy Ring +1 will be there in New Game Plus. Not Claranthy Ring, sorry, Covetous Gold Ring.
Yeah.
+1 will be there on that little platform just below that. That's in New Game Plus. That's where that ring will be. But moving down here, inside this tunnel is an illusory wall at the end, and there's a crystal lizard. That illusory wall, like, every time I go for it, it always takes like an extra 2 seconds to go away.
It's very hidden.
Nah, it's just the Titanite. The Titanite lizard has like shields. That's what it is.
I'll be then. Shoulder's so painful. Anyway, just killing these enemies. No new enemies to even talk about.
Cut through swathes of them like it's nothing.
Little
a hot
butter.
knife through butter. I'm trying to find the one that's firing spells, and I just throw it around them R1 and I find it. I'm like, there we go.
Okay, so there's this bit here now. Now down there is what I like to call nightmare fuel, and they are fucking horrifying.
What is it they actually
Get back
are?
to blood bomb.
Sewer centipedes.
Yeah. they can drop green blossom and budding green blossom. So that's.
I mean, they're actually worth killing, but are they worth the nightmares?
They're not. They're not.
Oh, this is the place where Sylvan's Beast will spawn. By the way, if you didn't kill it up on the bridge the first encounter, this is where it will appear.
Yeah. So you can see why you'd want to kill it up on the bridge and not here.
You have this little grass patch to fight it on, sure, but if you go into the water, you end up wading, and then it might use an AoE lightning. I'm not 100% sure if it has that, or if it's only the ones over by Aldrich that have that as a sort of, oh, it's the same thing but slightly harder.
Yeah.
Because there's two of them and they've got a new attack.
So luckily you have a +7 weapon, so luckily these things mean fucking nothing.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't make them any less horrifying.
I know. This should be great heal. Because this guy's just randomly here. Like,
I know.
I don't know how he got out of Cathedral of the Deep.
Don't know, went on holiday.
Maybe it's somebody who, like, Rosaria fucked about with a bunch of times. Because that's what happens to Heisel, apparently.
Huh.
Because, like, you kill the thing and it gives you the Xanthus crown and Hazel's pick.
I suppose, yeah.
So it implies that after 5 of the like stat allocations, or like rebirth, that's what it's called. After 5 rebirths, she turns you into a wee maggot. It's kind of disgusting.
Right, so we're going to pick up this thing here now. There's a bonfire here which we missed in our Let's Play, and it's literally hiding just behind the corner at the point where
Do not continue past this bonfire, by the way, because it leads to Irithyll Dungeon. If you enter Irithyll Dungeon at this point, you will end Siegmeyer's questline. You'll fail it. So we're not going to go beyond that. We are going to go back to that bonfire though, and then we're going to backtrack because you don't want to go past that into the next area.
Yeah. We're just using it as like an area.
There's an encounter here with the Siegward that you want to go through before the encounter in Irithyll Dungeon, and if you cross into that and you haven't done this encounter, it fails his questline immediately.
Yeah.
Plus, we need Siegmeyer to save Greyrat, which is another thing we're going to do right now, is send Greyrat out on another pillaging mission. Yeah. And then after we reload Firelink Shrine a couple of times, he'll be back. He'll be back by the time we beat Pontiff.
Yeah.
So that's good. So, what is it we're doing now? Sending Greyrat out in his expedition.
And this will, again, once he comes back, will further expand his inventory.
Yeah, we'll get a couple of more items. And then there's only one more thing for Greyrat to do, and unfortunately it just can't be helped. It has to happen for the greater good.
Yeah, and then it further expands more inventory, so I mean, he might die, but we kind of gain it. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. It's all about material gain as opposed to morality gain. And I'm more about the material when it comes to this game. So anyway, back to the Distant Manor bonfire. Now we're going to backtrack because there was a sewer entrance here you guys probably spotted. Now we're going to go this way and we're going to have our encounter with the Siegward.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of those little fucking like nightmare fuel things in this area and I despise it. I hate this place so much. And I think the only thing that's in here is like dung pie stock, isn't it?
Yeah. As well as the poo covered ashes.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Just how I love my dead people covered in shit. Like a clay, it's like a clay encapsulament, but
aye. It's like they're just wearing like a face mask, like, but it's poo.
Just imagine you put them in the oven and they bring them out and they need to like crack the shell of shit to get the ashes out.
Like a kiln.
I told you that, like, we spoke about exactly this same thing when we were here when we were recording this.
I think we did.
We did, because this is at the point where I told you it was like, I seen it on Man at Arms, it was the Japanese sword technique where they're fusing metals together. They like cover the sword in a bonding agent and clay and then put it in the kiln.
This couldn't be any less relevant to Dark Souls right now.
It's relevant because like, Dark Souls is a weeb game because it has katanas in it.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the excrement-covered ashes. We're going to go up here, and lots to do in this room, sort of. There's an Estus soup on the right.
There is a fantastic table that's just stacks bowls for you when you break it. It's fantastic.
Best thing about the game.
Someone told us to do this in our Let's Play. No, it wasn't even that. It was we seen a message in the Let's Play in front of the table, and Gary hit the table, and it just stacks perfectly.
So you want to talk to Siegmeyer, and then I think he heals you as well.
Yeah, he gives you a Siegbrow, and like you can only carry one Siegbrow at a time.
Yeah.
I think. No, you can carry more than one Siegbrow.
Yeah, you get like 3 in the game or something.
Yeah, you can carry up to 10, I think. But there's another perfect stacking table. Fantastic. But No, he does. He gives you like an Estus soup, even though there's an Estus soup like right there.
Oh, so if you talk to him there, that's what progresses the quest, and that's what will save Grey Rat.
Yeah. So this Silver Knight we're going to bait over with a throwing knife, because there's a Silver Knight archer up above, and we don't want to fight both of them. He's like straight up above us right now, so we're out of his line of sight, and we can take care of this guy safely without having to worry about being shot with a great bow.
So I think this might be the first time we actually encounter Silver Knights in the game.
It will be.
And they can drop the Dragon Slayer Greatbow, the Silver Knight Shield, Silver Knight Helm, well, the Silver Knight set, large Titanite Shards, which is a large Titanite Shard, and a Divine Blessing, which is apparently fixed the first time. Like, you always drop that the first time you kill him.
Well, then I discarded that large shard for no reason.
Yeah, you did. Idiot.
Damn, I didn't know that. I thought it was a drop that I accidentally picked up. Like, I didn't know it was a guaranteed.
They can drop Dragon Slayer Great Arrows as well.
It's fine, the game gives me so many large shards I essentially lose nothing.
Yeah. Basically. But you still lost a little bit.
But know what they don't drop? The Silver Knight Straight Sword or the Silver Knight Spear.
Yeah, they don't drop either of those things for some fucking reason.
And the Silver Knight Spear was good in Dark Souls 1.
So
was the sword, actually.
I know, they better be in the DLC, I swear down.
What, in London?
Because the spear looks like it would be amazing.
I'd love to. No, they just make the spear the exact same as it was in Dark Souls 1, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
Just give it like the...
that cool dash move.
Yeah, give it like the Astora's Greatsword sword art.
Right, so something to mention is those pots, like, have frostbite status inside them, so if you smash them, you can be frostbitten. And you don't want to be frostbit when you've got these guys floating about, so just stay frosty.
No. You want to do the opposite of that?
Right, so in here you have a Divine Blessing.
Nah, it's a Leo ring.
Yeah.
This one might be a Divine Blessing. That's Smo's hammer.
Oh, I think this is Smo's set.
We know nothing.
No.
That's the Divine Blessing. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. Anyway, moving right along, there should be a ring here, right?
Yeah, in new game...
+2. Yeah. It's the wood grain ring +2.
Will be to the right of here, just over there. Yeah.
Oh, so we're going to do something because someone told us about this. We're going to go back to the shrine and we're going to anger Uria by punching her 3 times. Now this is going to cost us 53,000 souls to do this, but it gets us the claw. Yeah,
so it turns out, right, we said earlier in the guide that you can't do Uria's quest and get the Londor Pale Shade stuff. Turns out you actually can. So, this is the second of 2 encounters. Now, you want to do this in the first one. I'm just going to explain this encounter first, and then we'll explain the first one. But right, we're going to punch Uria 3 times, and then we're going to go back to where we were. Going back to where we were, this will then allow us, the Londor Pale Shade will invade us.
Which he won't do if our disposition is good with Uria.
Yeah, but now she's pissed off with us.
We can be invaded by him.
Yeah. So, we're back here, and we'll now be invaded by the Londor Pale Shade. Once we kill them, we'll get the Mannequin Claws. Now, what we should have done is, just before we done Firelink Keep, like in that part, just before we go into it, we should have punched Uria 3 times, and then went to Firelink Keep. That way, the Londor Pale Shade will have then invaded during Firelink Keep, near where we get the Iron Flesh, like right at the beginning. If you just go from the Iron Flesh and then just follow the path right until it invades. Once you kill, you won't get anything from killing that Pale Shade in that invasion. However,
if you kill both Pale Shades, then you'll get the Pale Shades set in Firelink Shrine next to where Yol is.
Yeah.
But if you do anger Uria and Farron, you'll need to go to the statue that we're going to go after this. We're going to go to it. You need to go to the statue of Velka and you'll need to pay for your sins. And I think it's like 500 or 1,000
It's 1,000 times your level.
Yeah, 1,000 per level is the cost. So we're like level 53, so it's going to cost us 53,000.
So it would probably cost
So in Farron Keep it'll be like 30,000 probably.
Between 20 and 30,000,
yeah.
So I just thought we've got the Mannequin Claws there, and you get that for defeating the Pale Shade in this invasion.
Yeah.
So again, in the Firelink Keep episode, once you've done that, before you fight the Abyss Watchers, because you still want to get the Londor Pale Shade gesture, so before you fight the Abyss Watchers, make sure that you're back on track with Uria's quest. Like immediately, like as soon as you've beat the Pale Shade, go back and request absolution from the statue.
Farm until you get it.
Yeah.
But definitely get the absolution, because what we're going to do next is, as soon as we get to the next bonfire, we're going to go get absolution so that we can we can get back in Uria's good books as if nothing ever happened.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool that you can do this. Again, we should maybe talk about what's happening. Like again, it's just like general
enemies. Those are the dogs that can frostbite that I mentioned earlier, and I think that's a large shard over on that balcony.
Something I will say though is I once got kind of wrecked by all the enemies in this part, so just be careful when you're walking up.
That's why I ducked into that back corner, because the enemies on the staircase can't hit you because the platform to your left shoulder is too high. So it's a neat little place to duck into, and you can use throwing knives to pull enemies to you one at a time.
Yeah. So this takes you back to, I mean, the Church of Yorsk is over here. We're going to go there. So we're quite annoyed that we didn't know that you could do this
prior to the Firelink Keep recording.
Yeah. So right now we're explaining it for people that are here because of the annotation in Firelink Keep.
Yeah.
So again, you want to go to Firelink Keep. You want to go to Iron Flesh Part and take a right. You want to have punched Yuria 3 times before you do that, so she's pissed off at you. You'll be invaded, and then as soon as that happens, you want to do this.
Yeah. As soon as you beat Londor Pileshade, you come back here. And this, basically, it's a workaround for Uria's questline stopping you from getting that. Apparently just resetting your sin just restores Uria's questline no problem, so it's going to cost us 53,000 souls, so we're going to pop some soul packets. I need another 11,000. I think I'll overshoot it by a couple of thousand, but my guess is we're pretty spot on for how many soul packets we needed to take anyway.
Yeah, I just sped that wee bit up, but
yeah, cool.
Yeah, so that's us now. We're just checking with Yuria here, and Yuria is indeed fine with us.
Yeah, we'll talk and she'll just continue our hello there, speak thy desire, honourable Lord of Hollows and stuff like that. So everything's back on track with Yuria.
Definitely the NPC quests are a lot more forgiving in Dark Souls 3 than they are in like Dark Souls 1, which I'm actually very, very happy about, because Dark Souls 1, like the slightest little thing you do it correct one playthrough and do it the exact same way another playthrough and it would work.
Yeah, like Solaire and the fucking bug.
Or fucking patches, like not showing up randomly for no reason.
Not showing up in the catacombs, but anyway, now that we're back on track with Yuria, we're going to go back to the Church of Yorkshire, and we're going to take that same shortcut that we just unlocked, we're going to take it down, and we're going to proceed through that area, and it's going to take us up towards Pontiff Sulyvahn.
Yeah.
Should mention as well now, we already summoned Black Phantom Gothard. Not Black Phantom, sorry, Black Hand Gothard.
Yeah.
At the Abyss Watchers. His sign will be up near Pontiff, and if you don't have his By My Sword gesture, you can summon him there to get the gesture as well.
Yeah. As long as you summon him once during the playthrough, then you'll get the gesture.
Isn't Londor Pileshade a summon for this if you're on good terms with Yuria as well?
The same thing works as well, so
this is your second opportunity to get both gestures. If you have neither, summon Gothard, get the gesture, Black Crystal him out, summon the Pileshade, get the gesture, Black Crystal it out if you don't want to summon for the boss.
Yeah.
So we're putting our Silver Cat ring on to avoid fall damage because we can. May as well put it to use now that Cirrus is gifted, is it?
That was nice of her.
Yeah. So climbing up this ladder. Now, the only thing that's in this, I think, is one of those blue mosses. What's the name of it? Rhinestone moss clump or something like that?
Something like that.
But there's a bunch of these just your typical ghouls. Or zombies or fucking slaves. I don't know what.
Yeah, the enemies in this area are actually a hell of a lot easier than I feel like it should be. Like,
the Pontiff Knights can be a problem if you get multiple on you, but 1v1 they ain't too bad. The Knights with a scythe, I think, are probably the toughest enemy in this area.
They're no Lothric Knight though, let's be honest.
Nah, they ain't no Lothric Knight. They definitely ain't no Night Slayer Torrig anyway. Nothing is Night Slayer Torrig. Like, that guy is better than Lothric Knights. He's fucking ridiculous.
So anyway, yet another soul packet for our big backlog of soul packets.
Yeah. Well, we're keeping them. These are going to be worth it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
We're going to need these to buy out a bunch of inventories. We're going to need it specifically to buy out Orbek's inventory to get a bunch of items through talking to him and to continue his quest line so that we can eventually get the Merion Blade from Yuria in the process as well. Yeah. So we're keeping our soul packets on us. I know we said in the beginning we're keeping our soul packets for the 20,000 key, but we're following that exact same thing because we're going to keep our soul packets for the inventory of Orbek.
Yeah.
So we're still not using our soul packets to level up with, we're just using the souls that the game gives us, and we're getting a little bit more because of that silver serpent ring of ours.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows that you really do not need the soul packets at all in the game to be at a reasonable level.
Oh, we should mention, by the way, if you're doing a strength build through this playthrough and you're still using the crest shields like us, you could switch up to the Shield of Want if you wanted to, because that has a a Covetous Silver Serpent Ring effect as well. You need 18 strength to use it, just in case you guys haven't noticed that one. So if you want to gain a bit more souls and level up even further than we are, then if you've got the strength, you can use that shield. And that was showing you the Pale Shade and Goddard sound.
Not only that, Anri's summon sound will be there as well, so you can also summon Anri if you want. If Anri is alive, of course. Well, no, Anri's
still alive at this point.
Alive at this point.
Yeah.
So there's only a couple more items left.
She has moved on at this point, however.
Yeah.
There's only that item left, and then it's the boss, right? Oh no, wait, there's one more. There's the lightning gem, isn't there? Not the lightning gem, the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to go back up there, and we're going to drop off the edge. Chloranthy ring should be up here as well, actually.
Yeah, a New Game Plus. Anyway.
Yeah, it should be like right here, Chloranthy ring +1 and New Game Plus. And this is the Ring of the Sun's Frostborn. It's a miracle boosting ring, if I remember right. And now we're just going to go to the last bonfire with the rest of that, because I cannot be fucked running there. It literally was just to do that. So I put this shield on. I would have really liked it if you used the test footage, because that shows that you can parry the first attack from Pontiff.
Oh no, I'm gonna put the test footage in as well.
Alright, okay.
Because
the test footage shows his moveset in a much safer way as well, because he kind of like he goes toe to toe with me. He actually holds his own. Yeah. He lasts the full 12 rounds.
In this footage, you kind of get wrecked a little bit by Pontiff, but basically, I want to put in as much Pontiff footage as possible. That way, you can just basically see
his entire.
Yes, we'll try and point out a couple of things that you want to mention. I think in terms of Pontiff, you want to just you just keep rolling. You don't want to. No,
I am the king of partial parries.
I know.
That was a fucking partial.
You don't want to roll backwards at Pontiff, because he'll just continue his attack strings, at least in his second form, as far as I'm aware.
He does it in this form as well.
Yeah.
You got to roll past him.
Yeah, you want to be rolling past, and what seems to be the case is you want to be rolling under the arm that he's attacking with.
Yeah.
Or mainly his right side anyway. Even if he attacks with his left hand, rolling under his right side can be quite, that seems to be the best, safest place.
That attack went right over my head and it still hit me.
Also, Pontiff is
he has these backhands on both his swords as well, so you need to be careful when you're rolling around them, because he can just pull that backhand out really quickly. He strings combos together endlessly, and he has almost zero recovery time on some of his attacks. He's a fairly difficult boss, so you're just going to have to get your dodges down and just keep going at him.
Yeah, so again, dodging past him is the thing that it seems to get him to stop attacking.
He's also very resistant to poison, toxic, bleed, frostbite, whatever status. He's basically highly resistant to all status effects. So katanas are probably a weapon we would suggest you don't want to use during this fight, because you're not going to build up the bleed enough, and unless you already have really high dexterity, you're not going to do that much damage by comparison. Best weapons to use on him technically are thrust weapons.
Now, see, when he goes into this particular stage here, you actually want to be attacking him as much as possible.
Yeah.
However, for some reason, when you were attacking him there, it wasn't damaging his little
his clone.
Yeah, which it really should have been.
Yeah.
Now, when he does that, he holds the sword up, and that's when he's summoning the clone. You want to be attacking that as soon as possible, because the clone doesn't have that much health, but once they're separated, it can be quite overwhelming, really. Now, it's got a really cool mechanic, and what happens is the clone will do exactly what he's about to do.
No, the clone will do this. Yeah, you're right. I thought you were going to say the clone will do what he does. But no, it's the clone basically telegraphs Pontiff's next attack for you.
Yeah, I think it's actually really cool, because
it's interesting. I like it.
Oh, you can see what it's about to do, but you still need to deal with two of them.
So. Yeah, exactly. It's the disrespect. It's you can see what attack's coming, but can you still handle it?
Aye.
He's getting cocky.
But again, you still want to be just dodging past him. And yeah, when he's doing this, that's when you want to be.
He's incredibly vulnerable when he is duplicating. So
yeah. So we're going to put up more footage of us
fighting Pontiff.
Fighting Pontiff again, yeah. And just that way you can kind of see oh, okay, here's what we're doing when he's doing the same kind of thing.
Oh, and just so you know, Pontiff's soul can get you the Profaned, which is one of the best ultra great swords in the game. it straight up is one of the best in the game. It's really fucking good. Highly recommend it if you're going like a strength build. Profaned is really good. Like, I know we weren't going to mention what you do with boss souls and that, but Profaned is one of those ones that actually stands out from the crowd.
So there's the Excrement-covered ashes, which will get you
a bunch of status effect items. I think you get like dung pies and stuff now. So Grey Rat is also back. If you go talk to Grey Rat now, he'll speak of being saved by a peculiar onion knight. Because Siegward saves him.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly why we were... Yeah. So we're just checking with Yuri to make sure things are okay.
Yep.
So you can get a blue bug pellet, blooming purple moss clump, which is now almost useless.
Now, blooming purple moss clump you can still use for profaned capital. That's
and with the wood grain ring.
The wood grain ring.
Yeah, that seems to be about it.
Cool. But yeah, we're going to tack in some more footage of Pontiff, I guess. At this point, we're just back closing up some quest lines, making sure everybody's good with us and leveling up. I'm guessing you're just going to add more footage in after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But Pontiff he's pretty difficult. You will just need to learn how to dodge, and just try to don't like dodge backward. No matter how much you want to, don't dodge backwards because he'll chase you down.
Yeah,
you dodge past him.
Dodge into him, and then when he holds his sword up to his face, just fucking wheel at him. Yeah. To be fair, you'll have a much easier time dealing with him using our build because we're doing a hell of a lot of damage.
You could probably do a bit more damage if you throw some R2s in as well, since he's particularly weak to thrusting attacks. So
apparently,
when he's in that cloning phase, you might want to try and finish your R1 combo off with an R2 so that you get like as much damage as possible. You should always do that anyway. If you're going to use your full stamina bar, just make the last attack an R2 and try and get as much damage in as possible.
The NPC summons are okay for Pontiff as well. Like, it can go like one way or the other essentially. Like, if one of them dies, then you're probably going to have a hard time, but if they can stay alive and he'll like change his aggro up, then you'll probably have an okay time dealing with him. You'll be able to get some alright damage. But anyway, just try and emulate what we do-ish. Look out for our mistakes and then try and capitalise on what you see us do wrong. But yeah, we're just going to leave it there. And this has been a weirdly short part considering how big Irithyll is, but hopefully you learned something.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys in the next one where we'll take on Irithyll post Pontiff.
Yeah, and then it's on Anne Orlando.
Yep, so we'll see you guys then.